This video is sponsored by Surfshark. While visiting Porto this summer, I was tempted to try something new, but old, and for me, very different. It's a camera that's been around for a while, and it has a unique feature that has really captured my imagination. But before I show you what it is, let me show you what it can do. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more street photography. If I were to list the specs of this camera, I doubt you would get very excited. The resolution is pretty typical of even modern cameras, and the autofocus isn't the best. So what is it about this camera that I was so curious to try? Well, from the brand name, you'd expect me to start ranting about colours, but that's not why I bought the Fujifilm X-T2. X-T2? I thought this was an X-T5. What? But we street photographers know better than anyone, one man's trash is another man's treasure. The Fujifilm X-T2 felt like the sweet spot for the features I wanted, but it seems to be the often overlooked iteration of the X-T line. It doesn't have the cult status of the X-T1 sensor, or the strong video credentials of the X-T3. Instead, it's been lost in the noise, waiting for someone to pick it up again.
Bonsoir, mon ami. You're curious, can't you?
But why would you pick it up? And why did I? Well, as a street photographer, this camera has a unique feature I've always wanted to shoot with, like you can see in this video here. Oh, this video isn't available in my country. Hang on, I'll just use Surfshark. Surfshark is a virtual private network that allows you to change your virtual location and protect your data. Being away from home, I need to use Surfshark on a daily basis. Much like when I want to watch Formula 1 highlights, I change my VPN location to the UK, and then I can watch with no problems, apart from Ferrari losing. Not only that, but when I'm using Wi-Fi in a cafe or at the airport, I use Surfshark to avoid hackers and protect my data when connecting to unsecured networks. So all I need to worry about is my film rolls going through the X-ray machines. Within Surfshark, you can also get even more peace of mind by using Surfshark Alert. Alert keeps track of your email, contact details, payment methods, and other personal data to notify you anytime your data is leaked online. Go to surfshark.com/Holden or use code Holden at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN with a risk-free 30-day guarantee. I want to show you something that I think is really cool. Now, I find it really weird how few Fujifilm street photographers talk about this feature. There's always a lot of talk, understandably, about Fujifilm colours. But why is nobody talking about Fujifilm focus? Since the downfall of DSLRs, we no longer have autofocus lenses, which double as great manual focus lenses for zone focusing. But as of this generation of the X-T line, we can create this effect in camera. You can do this with any autofocus lens, Fujifilm or third party like this TT Artisan 23mm. Go to your AF/MF settings in the menu, then page 2, go to depth of field scale. Set this to film format basis instead of pixel basis. Next, go to your setup menu, then button/dial settings, then the function AEL and AFL button settings, and change your AFL button to AF on. And last but not least, change your focus mode to manual. With these settings enabled, you can see your focus scale at the bottom of your display, much like a manual focus lens. This white line is your exact focal point, where your image is sharpest. Then this blue area on either side is the area that is deemed an acceptable focus. This works the exact same way as shooting with a vintage manual focus lens and using the zone focus markings on the lens. The further we close down our aperture, the deeper our depth of field becomes. This means instead of trying to lock focus on a subject on the street, we can pre-focus our lens to the right distance, then shoot without needing to focus. But why did we set the AFL button to AF on? Well, by pressing the AFL button, we can enable autofocus if we want to use it in some situations, without changing mode. Or we can use it to preset our focus distance for accurate zone focusing. While making this video, I actually left Porto, so there's no more street photography for me for a while. But we are in the beautiful landscape of the French Alps for a couple of weeks. And while I may not be a landscape photographer, I enjoy any kind of photography. So why not see how the X-T2 handles in this quiet mountain environment? While composing these images, I was actually using a film recipe from Fuji X Weekly, their improved Velvia for the X-T2 sensor. This made the live view in the LCD and the EVF much more pleasant to look at, which really made me embrace these rich greens in the landscape. However, I haven't been using Fujifilm JPEG straight out of camera. Instead, I edited all of these images using my Lightroom presets. And you can pick up my Kodak film stock presets, my Fujifilm film stock presets, and my Naturally Filmic presets. And you can save when you get all three together in a 3-pack bundle, and viewers of this video can use this unique code to save an extra 20% at checkout. These are some of the best film simulation presets you can buy, and I use these in 100% of the images you see me share online. So I'll drop a link in the description for you to check those out. I definitely get guilty of always thinking I'm used to doing street photography, and when I get out somewhere without streets, per se, I feel a bit lost sometimes. But actually, getting out with this X-T2 here in obviously very beautiful scenery, it's just a bit refreshing. Sometimes photography for photography's sake, whether it's your own style of photography or something completely different, it's good for the soul. It's good for the soul. I don't know how good any of these photos are, but I'm having a great time. I'm also looking forward to more street photography. Subscribe so you don't miss future street photography videos. And maybe some landscape photography. I don't know, no.